All right. Hello to anybody that may be watching this. Back for yet another day. I'm probably not gonna talk too much this one because it's a bit late, but I'm gonna watch the remaining part of this design tutorial. I'm not actually gonna do it because just doing prototyping in Figma, which I don't think is that important in my case. Then I'll be done with this, and I'm gonna start.
The user with a vibrant splash screen.
And start learning Swift development. So hopefully then things will be slightly more interesting, but we'll see.
So let's continue working on the design here. Last time we finished on prototyping some of the home page, and today we're going to be continuing with the same routine by prototyping this go back button and also some interactions in the favorites page. Let's start from this one, which is quite simply the easiest thing we're going to be doing today. Let's go back to components. Now you can see we already are in the habit of creating some components for our buttons, but here we have to do it for our primary button. I'm just going to create a new component variant, call it onPress. This should be default. Again, let's give it some auto layouts and prepare it for editing, right? So nothing really new, we've done this so many times. Now what we want to do is we want to take this, the press variant, and we want to apply the brand 450 color. So that means it's just going to get a bit darker, just enough for us to distinguish it from the default variant. So let's just get everything close to each other here, and I think everything's ready. So what you have to do is you want to select this, go to prototyping, add interaction, while pressing, change to home press, smart animates, ease in, and 200 milliseconds. So this is something we've discussed about previously, and we've done this so many times, so hopefully it's clear what we are doing at this point. So I'm just going to go here, and maybe you can see it's very subtle, but you can make out that when I'm pressing it, let's go full screen, when I'm pressing the button, a color change happens indicating that an action is being done on the button, this time the action being pressing. Great, so let's go back to the design here, and we have to now create some other variants for other components. Now we're going to be primarily working on this part here for the list of favorite items. So let's go back to components, and down here, we have the channel variant components, right? So I'm just going to take everything down to give ourselves more space. Create a new component variant, call this onPress, and change the color here, and prepare it as we do again and again here. So now onPress, what we want to do is we want to change the fill to be slightly darker. So we've been working with this so many times, so it's going to be 350. Actually not darker, but lighter it seems. So what I want to do next is I want to go here, interactions, again doing the same thing, right? So while pressing, change to, from the defaults to onPress. It should be smart animate, ease in, and 200 milliseconds. So also we have to go back to the design and change the name here to use the small letter for D for default. Now if we go here, actually we have to, let's run this again just to get everything running. So let's go back to design, let's select the page you want and just play this. And now when it runs, it should have all the updated information here. Also, you're going to be changing some elements here, including these 3 dots up next. So you can see while I'm pressing it, a shift in the color happens, right? So that's all the interaction we need at this point. Next up, we want a new component variant. So let's just create this component variant here, and let's call this, let's call this delete. Okay, let's get it down. So we're gonna go here, and we have to change this. So I'm just gonna go pick out the delete icon from here. This is the icon pack we've been using all throughout this course, by the way. And I believe they do have some delete buttons right here. Okay, let's just save the default one. Works nice. Let's go back to assets down here. Let's paste it in. Control-Alt-O first of all, as always. Okay, let's get the group out. Let's call this delete icon. Let's make it white, and let's make it into 16 by 16 and create a component out of it. Okay, as you can see, here's our delete icon. And we're just going to copy it from this point. We're just going to copy it. Actually, let's do some changes here. Let's make some changes. Actually, we're just going to change it when we get to the actual design, inserting it. For now, let's just change the names. This is going to be skeleton. Okay, this is going to be the lid. I think it's like this. This is going to be the body. And let's just copy it, go back to components, and Ctrl-Shift-R here, just paste and replace. And at this point, what we want to do is we want to maintain an auto layout formation here. So let's create auto layout from this. Let's create a frame. Name it delete CTA. No gaps. Full height. A bit padding here, around 8. Actually, the width should match the height, so let's go 29 and center it. And also, let's give it a fill. It should be red 500 because this is a critical action. And since the outer horn radius is 4, this one could be either smaller horn radius, but I assume here, to just be consistent, I'm going to go with the full horn radius here. And it seems kind of cramped in here, so let's just give this more of a width. Like 40. And let's increase the height. And this looks about right, matching everything being done here. Actually, if we want this to work perfectly, let's make this 22, let's say, and let's make this 40. Okay, so at this point, we have everything we need to create the interactions. So let's just go here and select this. So let's create a prototype where on click, change to delete. Okay, it should be instant. So let's go here and on click. Okay, first let's actually restart this. Okay, let's replay this again. Okay, so now let's make it full screen and try it. Okay, so it's not activated for some reason. Let's try to fix the problem. Let's go back to components. And here we are saying on click, change to this. But I think perhaps we have to apply the on click here. So on click, change to delete instant. Okay, so yeah, it does work. Okay, so we also need an extra bit of information right here. We want to take the closing icon from somewhere. I think it's here. Yeah, let's just take it from here. And paste it in here. So the way we're going to be doing this is flip it, the color selection. This should be a bit darker, so 100, I believe. Or maybe even white. Maybe let's go 400. I think that works better. So also, let's go decrease the size here. Fill container. And this should be... Okay, let's just go back to assets. Let's copy this. Let's go back to components and change this text for Ctrl-Shift-R. Okay, let's detach instance since this is a separate close icon. I believe so. Yeah. So Ctrl-Shift-R. So now we can resize it freely. So I'm going to go with 12. So since this is 24, we want to take both of them and group them 12. And let's make this fill the height. And increase this to 12 again. And increase this to around 8. So this will be our final design. And let's prototype this. So let's go back to prototype. And we're going to add an interaction here. On click, change to default instance. Okay, so this might seem a bit complicated, but it's just very simple prototyping, changing from one state to another state on some action detecting on one element here. So, okay, yeah, let's reset everything here. So, okay, so when I press it, you can see it's a bit glitchy here. Maybe perhaps we should restart it. Okay, yeah, but we should remove this probably. Wait, not that. Okay. Yeah. So you can see now when we open and close, the changes are detected. And obviously when we click this, we want this to disappear, but that's not something possible, I don't think, to create. Now I'm going to leave you with sort of a project or assignment here, and that is, you can see this state does not have any way to change into this pressable state. If we go on the full screen here, you can see they can open and close, but they can't be pressed. So I want you to practice your Figma prototyping by figuring out a way of doing that, applying this to this, and it's very simple. Hence, you should be creating a different component variant for this one alone. So it's not complicated. I'm pretty sure you can do it. You've learned and discussed this so many times before. And yeah, so that's all for today. It's not too complicated what we learned. We just apply some basic prototyping in Figma to create some cool interactions. Now what is remaining here is if we go back, so we need some final prototyping here. We need one prototyping action for the skip, and we need some way of changing these. And finally, we need the continue and go back buttons to work. Also, we don't need this to be here. So I think that's all going to be done in the next episode, and that will be the final part where we're going to be finishing off this whole design. Great. I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and meet you in the next one. So today we're going to be finally finishing this course by creating the prototyping animations for the splash screens. So we have 4 splash screens already designed in the previous couple of parts of this course, and now we have to make them interactable. So how do we do that? We have discussed about this so many times, and it's quite a simple thing. So the first thing we want to do is we want to work from the top down, and I'm just going to start here. So on clicking this skip button, or it's just a text, but it is a button, I want the user to be redirected to the homepage, skipping every splash screen right here. So before doing that though, let's actually work on the animation for the skip button here. What I mean is on-press animations. So I believe we have this here. Okay, great. So we have 2 of them, and we're going to get to this one, but for now let's just finish working on this. So I'm just going to create a new component variant here, and this is the default on-press. So the on-press state for the default navbar. So I'm just going to take this, and the only thing I'm going to be changing is the color. I'm going to change it from gray 100 to being fully white. Then I'm just going to select this and add this prototyping animation, doing the same thing we did so many times, adding interaction while pressing change to default on-press. This should be smart animate, ease in, and 200 milliseconds. So these are properties we have worked with so many times, and you can feel free to just play around with these and create your own sort of values that work best for you. But this is personally what I found to work relatively better in Figma. So let's just move everything down here. Okay. And now we just have to taste it. So we have to go here, let's select this screen and just press play here. I did it by just pressing the play icon here or the present icon. So if we go back here, it should be loading. Okay, while it is loading, okay, here it's done actually. So let's make it full screen to make it bigger to see. And now you can see when we press it, it becomes from gray, it becomes white. Great, so that's what we wanted. Next up, we want to make this redirect us to the homepage. Now we can't do this from the components because in order to redirect by clicking a button, what we have to do is we have to select a page from the same layer pages here. So if we were to make it in the component, we can't redirect it to the homepage because the homepage doesn't exist in this Figma page, right? So instead, we have to do it directly from the design. Okay, so let's go to prototyping, and this will be the simplest part here. Just on tap or on click, same thing. On tap is identified to be working on mobile. That's the only difference. Navigate to and home. And the animation this time will simply be instance. Great, so at this point, we already have this animation working. What we have to do is we have to copy this. And since this doesn't automatically apply to the others here, we have to manually do this. Okay, so it should be Control-Shift-R, meaning now all of these 3 pages redirect to the home page. Great, so let's just test it out here. If we click on skip, we get redirected to the home page. Okay, great. So one thing remains, which is we don't really have the same functionality to this final splash screen. And you might say, like, it's the final splash screen. Why wouldn't people just click the Let's Start button? And you'll be right, but I think if people get used to it, it's good to have there. It's not really taking anything away from the design. So let's just apply it, and we're going to be learning more by doing that. So again, feel free to do this on your own. So I'm not going to be doing this here. I'm just going to be leaving this here for you because this is something we literally just did right now. So I think it's good practice for you to do it in your own time. So let's move on actually. So the way we move on is by working on this back button first. So this back button, we don't need it to be here. We don't need it to be here in the sense that it is not interactable. It should not be interactable because there is nowhere to go back from the first splash screen. This is the screen that the user will see when they first load the application. So there is no meaning to this button. So how do we fix that? What we have to do is we're going to go back to components and create a new component variant for the button. Here is the secondary button, and let's take these 2. By the way, the Figma file will be provided once the full course is released. If you're watching the full, like 5 to 6 hour course, then you can find this in the description down below. But if not, please wait to get this Figma file for free. Great, so we have this component here, and we just want to create. Okay, it seems like we have other component variants. Okay, let's try to change variants. There seems to be a couple of properties here that are not what we want. Let's return them first here. Okay, that's interesting. So. Okay, so I think the best way of doing this is, since this is only a one-time use, you can actually practice making this into a component. But for now, just to save time, I'm just going to manually do it. And it's just easy, it's just changing the opacity. By reducing the opacity, we are giving the feel that this button is deactivated. So let's go 75% maybe, 25 maybe a bit too bright, let's go around 65. Great, so this 65% button here, you can see it's dulled out, and once the user clicks it, it doesn't really do anything, considering you can see even the next sort of variance is also reduced in opacity, so it is obvious that this button is not working. Great, so that's the first thing we want to do. Next is the actual prototyping. The only thing we want to do here is we're going to prototype these continue buttons here and let's go button to work properly. So let's start here. The continue button here, let's add an interaction on tap, action, navigate to, and it should navigate to the second splash screen. It should be instant, considering this is actually the first, so the second and third and fourth. We're gonna do the same thing here. Here, tap, navigate to. This time we're gonna go to the third. Okay, again, on tap, navigate to. This time, as you have cursed, to the fourth. Finally, this time, this will be a bit different. It's gonna be on tap, navigate to, and it should go to the home page, considering this is the final one. Now you can see, if you look at it like this, it might seem a bit convoluted and difficult, maybe intimidating, but we didn't really do anything really complicated. Even if we go back to the components here, you might see something like this and get turned off here. Let's remove that. You might see something like this and assume that this is complicated, but really it's not. It's just while pressing interactions. Again here, pressing covering interactions, opening and closing interactions. It's very simple. It's a very simple concept. Even these sort of very intimidating looking are very simple. Great. So now that we have done this, we want to test it out. So let's start from this and let's see. Continue. Let's start. Great. So it is working. One thing that's not working though is the actual back buttons. So this back button obviously doesn't have anything. It doesn't work. But this one should have interaction on it. It should be on tap, navigate to, and this time from the second it will go one back to the first. We will go to this one again, navigate to. This one it is the third, I believe, so it should go back to the second. And finally, the fourth one here. This is the fourth one, so that should navigate to the third. Great. So now hopefully these interactions work. Obviously the first one doesn't work, and we go to the first, and we can go back and cycle however we want. Perfect. Great. We are almost done, fully done with this course, almost. Only one element of this remains, and that is this indicator right here. So the way we're going to be doing this, we don't even need prototyping for this. The way we're going to be doing this is we have a couple of component variants here. So we have one for the first page, and for the second page, the central one should be at the second. And for the third page, it should be at the third. And always for the fourth page, we had a different variant, so it's perfect. So let's work on the variants here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take everything here below it and just give it some space to read. So I'm just going to create a new variant for this. This should be one, simply one. This should be two. This should be 3. So we'll have 3 variants for this. Obviously, the naming indicates that this is for the first page, second page, third page. We're not just naming it 1, 2, 3 for no reason. Let's add some auto layouts, 32, 64 by 64. And finally, let's make this our brand color. Great, so now it's a simple matter of just switching this up to the second and third. Great, so now we can restore everything by selecting these parts and moving them up until we get 32 pixels. Great, so, okay. Now let's go back to design and just apply it. So, 1, let's select this one, go here, 2, and let's go here now, and 3, and obviously the 4th one. So now let's test it out for the final bit. Go back, continue. Notice how this is shifting. Go back, continue. That is all perfect. So I think that's it. We have created a full prototype to working mobile app design. So this was an entry to UI UX and mobile design. Not actually an entry, it's a bit advanced. In some concepts it might be hard to understand, but I tried to cover them as best as I could, from prototyping, from Figma, from managing your Figma files in terms of branding. We looked at so many things. We had branding. You can see this is a full list of branding with colors, fonts, and everything. We had this beautiful design, starting from a simple loading status to not working or error status homepage. We created this very intricate and nicely done homepage. Even favorites, empty states, everything has been accounted for. The favorites list, which is actually working here. Yeah, the splash screens, 4 splash screens, even the navigation here, and everything works quite nicely here, as you can see. So also we had these components, right? So you can see these components, which are very much well done. So these components are what you would expect to see in a real world application, the way they are presented, the way they are carried out. Most of our elements are components, and that made it easier for us to work. And as your app grows, so will your components, but so will the use of these components. You will think yourself that you made all these components as your app grows, because on the start it might seem overkill, but at some point everything will click, and you will develop and design faster because of this. Also, we work on this UI kit from a different Figma file, nothing really special here, and some assets. We learned how to use external assets like icons and these flags. It's not just pasting it into your Figma design. You have to work with it to make it work for your purpose. We have learned that pretty early on. We have created these illustrations. Actually, I didn't show you the process of these creations, but feel free to play around with them. Obviously, if you're watching this video, there's a good chance that the full course has been released. If this is the 6-hour course, 5 to 6 hour course, then this is the full course release. If not, if it is like parts 15 or something, 14, 15, if that's the case, then you should wait a couple of days. Probably it's not going to be too long for the full course releases, and you can get this Figma file completely for free. Okay, thanks guys for watching. Really means a lot. The support on the channel has been incredible. We will continue with a course on Dart, the programming language. So we're going to go Dart, the Flutter, then we're going to create this full app, mobile app. We're going to be coding it. So stay tuned, and we'll be coming up with so many more designing courses. And yeah, 2025 and 2026 will be great years for this channel. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. That's all for today. Goodbye.
Not glad that's over, so I can more interesting things. Gonna try something real quick, not related to what I'm supposed to be doing. Just kind of want to see if I can vibe code a different background for my portfolio page. I've seen a timeline that some of these newer models like Soul and Kimi K3 kind of like create shaders now. So I think that'd be a cool thing to see. Maybe if I could do instead of having dog background. I'm gonna try with Grok 4.5 first though. See what happens. I want to create a background shader for my personal website. I'm thinking something along the lines of some of the React bits libraries, like the dither effect, or I need to figure out what this other effect was called. This is the one I really liked, but I don't want to just copy straight off his. So I'm wondering if I can just vibe code a shader. Is the new one they made? Yeah, this one. Liquid ether. Want you to come up with some cool ideas for shaders we could vibe code for the background. I really like the liquid ether one more than dither effect. So can you give me some cool ideas for shaders that could be developed for the background? We have double uses for grok. That blooms and interacts like Lincoln water. Very quiet motion, low contrast. Is it toward personal? Lava underclass. Aura smoke. And bubbles could be another interesting one. Wonder if I could see some prototypes of this. Let me update a skill directory first though. What's wrong? This thing's almost dead. I just charged it. It's at 18%. How was it not charging before? Kind of disliking the keychron, to be honest with you. Is it charging now? I didn't even talk about how to charge it on here. Oh yeah, I guess look it up. What is Quick Start Guide? I don't know if there was another manual. I think this is the V1 Ultra 8K. $660 hours. No way it can charge for 6. I think it barely lasts a couple days for me. Something must be wrong. It's not charging at all. Yeah, I think my cable slot is broken. It's only charging sometimes. Yeah. Only charges if I hold it up or something. Like when it first goes in. Yeah, I think for now I'll just go to my wired keyboard until I get warranty on that or something. And I'll be identified until the device is What is it talking about saying it can't identify? What happiness, whatever. It obviously works. So why? I'm done with that. Let me see. Let me see if this thing can generate some prototypes. Sure how it still has a prototype skill, but yeah, it is kind of a useful skill. I should probably put back in there. It's just genuinely easier to use the installer. Oh wow, it already generated prototypes. Insane. So you go back in the CLI, type space prototype global. Add back the prototype skill. This is a liquid model. The cursor either. Actually, it's not exactly on point. I feel like these all are like the same thing, just it is a bit different. How did it develop this so quickly? This is just horrible. I was more interested in this soft ink blue one. This one's not bad. This one does look a little bit different than the other ones. They all look mostly the same. I literally said as a prototype. I just put it in the very interesting decision. They did a terrible job. And this is not that intriguing. Start. I'm gonna try this with GPT 5.6. See what happens. Though the Aurora Veil's not terrible. Codex is actually agnostic, unlike some other companies. Say unique ideas. I wonder if these skills from that Leon guy would be useful. I think these things are mainly meant for it's more like front end stuff. I think what I'll tell it to do. Tasteful. See what happens. It might actually decide to use some skill. Medium. If it does. And I hate mosquitoes, bro. They're so annoying. Like a lot of these sound very saying kinetic ink, all this stuff. And it's one of the problems LMs don't really come up with good ideas. However, I do want to see some prototypes. I can get an idea of how they look visually. Don't edit the actual code of the portfolio yet. Put the prototypes in a nice little file. Hey, mosquito bites. Elon was claiming He's making a 2 trillion parameter model. And Grok 4.5 might be my favorite release so far. Extremely fast, fairly cheap. Be interesting if they actually make another one. Have it saved for Fable. See what's happening here. So it's still working. Reading some file call. Oh, it's reading a prototype skill. Interesting. Oh, this guy's hilarious. I haven't really used Fable that much, to be honest with you. It's too expensive, and I don't think the output would be that amazing for what I'm using. So yeah, that $20 a month code expand is extremely slow. Obviously, we'll be updating this. Artwork shows get paid. Oh, sorry. Okay. Instead of doing this, I'm gonna be more productive. I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to do first is copy a couple of designs. I don't want to do anything too insane. Let me see. Mobile app designs. Copy or like copy or beginners. Certainly some of those come with this. Use I already pay for this, so we use screen. I don't even know which account this is. Too many Google accounts, so it's obviously not this one. Let me get Pro. Let me log out. All these. What? Don't ask for approval. Go, please. I need to turn on the and let's see if we can find a fairly simple design to emulate. Looks kind of simple. It has a little liquid glass effect in these images. Do liquid glass. Oh, they got rise on here. 1.67. It's actually pretty good for me because this is the app I'm trying to emulate. I think I should just have 335 screens. Download all screens. I'm gonna pick one of these screens. Emulate. Go. I'm gonna do this one. Doesn't look that bad. New Figma file. How do you have to pay to have unlimited files in Figma? Where is a workaround for this? Or file browser, drafts. Oh, because it wasn't a draft. Okay. So we're gonna recreate this probably. Okay. I don't know why I decided to open this integrated browser thing. Wow. but it's pretty cool. It's got motion and everything. It's kind of ass, so it doesn't look that great. It's kind of cool. Go increase the opacity and stuff. It's kind of ass. It's kind of ass. It's also extremely bad. It's horrible. Oil class. It's terrible. Hey, the vast majorities are pretty bad, but topographic ether. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna ask GPT image 2. I did like the topographic ether one. So please save. Document that in a shader ideas log markdown file that we will keep track of and continuously update. Want some more unique and visually striking / appealing ideas. I really like game dev and pixel art, well stock art. I don't know if giving it any inspiration images would even help because these are shaders. I saw the video on my timeline talk about some shaders they made. Pretty insane right there. I saw this guy's site. What interesting. If you want in this taste skills does not seem to be doesn't seem like me the most useful thing here. Shit, the prompt. I think there's another thing I'm gonna do here and go like generate 5 images of concepts for a website shader background. Thinking of things along the lines of they should be 5 distinct images with a different unique concept images or shader backgrounds for websites. One, two. Okay, respectfully, this guy's just kind of annoying. Turn the bit off. Have GPT which to ideas. Website. We improve this prompt. Ask me questions. Help improve the design direction and push for continuously generating pixel oval map. Generate prototypes for these. High quality output. I'm just gonna send this off right now. See what happens. background. Loan. Yes, text should be readable. A mix. Each one should be unique / a different concept. Multiple colors can be used. It should just output dark mode versions. No, it's fine as a static texture. No, not necessary. New ideas. (16:9) test. Oh, realistic / polished. No. It's too specific. I want. Oh, wow. So look at this. You know, some actually good ideas. This is too specific. You should not be naming. Add a game dev theme for this font. Let's try this one. I'm kind of really liking some of these images that came out here. I'll probably give those a reference and see what it can come up with. It's still cooking over here. I'm just gonna keep going and see until I hit uselessness happens. Because I'm on the $20 plan right. We're just cooking people. Yeah, I love Tivo, man. Okay, we already know about this. This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool to be honest with you. Watching squares roll. Wait, is that a sound effect from the music or? That was from the music. Damn, wow, look at that concept. It's insane. Oh, this is crazy good. Man, I wonder if we can take some of these and do something with them. This is kind of interesting. Move and click. It's so interesting, not that great. Those look really ass. It was interesting, but honestly not that insane. Not great. Save the concept from marching squares. Hey, I think. Let's go back and look at that. I'm not sure. I generate these prompts. Yeah, this moves into. Okay, so a new chat here. Let's see if we can take one of these image concepts and do something with it. These are obviously style this. And how it was expected again. This is a concept image generated by GPT image 2. For a background shader on my website. Want you to deeply examine this And as we let's work together to generate a prototype. Prototype for this. Ask me questions until we gain a shared understanding of how to build what needs to be done. Don't know why the co-design skill would be necessary here. I don't know why it's reading this log. I'm just gonna confuse it. Obviously, it's not gonna be able to create this exact thing. Let's do procedural generation. Go with your recommendation. I highly doubt it's gonna be possible to get anything near to this, but what? Oh, it'll be interesting to see how close it gets. Going to replace a dotted background. But we will not be editing the website yet. Want a prototype developed. Go with your proposed baseline. Yes, yes. Sure. They protect sender concept. Agree with station. Yes, it should be stable. We'll copy this. Yes. Yes. No visible card or opaque. Yeah, I agree. Sure what it's referring to there, but hopefully it's not just gonna keep grilling me with questions. This might help it plan things out. I doubt this is even gonna be possible. Probably 2-3D-ish. I think the 3GS idea is good though. Sure why mic is going great if I had noise first. Kimmy K3 might actually have done a really good job with this because apparently it's really good at 3D stuff, but right now I don't really have access to that model. I don't want to just pay money for that. Eventually people have it. Things like cursor. This guy reset usually lives again. Insane. Super grok heavy now with extreme at no cost. Yes, $300 a month. I don't even know who would use that, man. I guess now you can use cursor and composer, but I'm gonna make some better models. Respectfully. Okay, let's work on emulating this design. First thing is a frame. Oh, it's so small. Oh. Wondering how we should do the these like make it around the same size and figure it's just not. There you go. I'm just gonna ask GPT. I could care less about this plan. She just trying to figure it out. I doubt it's even gonna work. I'm trying to recreate this design to help bolster my design skills. I'm a beginner, have a background in software development. Don't know why it's important. I'm wondering if I should try to recreate the logos used in the map, and particularly the bottom bar, as those are more custom. I feel like those could easily be made with vectors. Or crop their images or generate them or something. What would an actual designer do here? Trace and manually vector shapes in Figma. So I don't know how this pen tool works. Just enter, like, oh, I think it's because I'm dragging it. I don't think I need to drag it. I just need to click, click. So now we have this vector. Increase the weight of the stroke. Oh, there it is. It's almost the same thing. Now do we just create? Obviously does not work. Do like this. Like this. So is this how people create these things? Seems a lot easier thought it was going to be. Eyeball it. Oh, okay, that's not connected for some reason. 4. This is where I'm attempting to recreate the logo now. I just used a vector tool and kind of point and clicked until I got something that went around the whole entire logo. Fortunately, the first little bar I made was not connected to the one I was doing in tandem. Is there a way to connect that vector into the one I just made? And also, how do I get like the rounding effect? My logo looks very blocky right now. You're kidding me. Recreate the bottom logo right now. I used a vector tool, kind of just point and clicked until I got around the entire logo. Unfortunately, the very first vector I made was not connected to the rest of them. Is there a way to connect that exterior vector to the rest of the circle? Also, how do I get mine to be more rounded? Everything's kind of blocky right now. Give me exact steps to do this in Figma. So this, like this, vector 1 and vector 2. So enter vector edit mode. Endpoint on the right side of the attached triangle. Hold shift. Connect. Command J. Oh, okay. Can't move the points. So Command J joins. This is more where it should be. There we go. It's a bit off, but who cares? Enter vector mode. Drag a selection box. Now the outer corner points you want rounded. I don't think we want the semicircle. I don't know if I can just make these more corner radiusy. Okay, that did not work at all. I don't know if there's any way to make these edges here more smooth. See how increasing the corner radius of that did anything. It says draw the horizontal base using a rectangle too. Okay, like around the same size-ish. That's good enough. Corner radius. Draw one vertical ray as a narrow rectangle. Okay, so saying like around the same size of this thing. Rise outer two corners. Do that here. So like one. I don't know why it thinks it's round. It's actually not round at all. Duplicate it. It's still working here. Ooh. Yeah, it doesn't look I can't explain the size of that, but looks kind of cool though, to be honest with you. Not amazing, but kind of cool. Rotate. I kind of see what it's trying to do here. But here. Yeah. D again. Should only have to. You should think that you'd only have to rotate it. That's not the case. Whoops. Again. Okay, interesting. Union selection Boolean operations menu. Know where that is. It's still working. Oh, what the hell? Is it actually going to make this? That's what he's saying. I mean, no, where is this union selection big? It's a mask. There's two overlapping circles.
Boolean operations let you. To apply a Boolean operation, select at least 2 supported layer types, then choose an operation from the Boolean operations menu.
That's definitely 2 overlapping circles. What? When was this written? That feature's not even available. Kind of Option Shift U. Oh, that worked. Oh, it actually looks pretty good now. So can that be done with anything? Okay, I need to move these out of here. It's moving the vector to move it. Shift U. I don't really change anything there. Draw perfect lifts while holding shift. Lifts, hold shift. It'd be nice if I could see the ellipse, make it a different color. A bit bigger. It says overlap the lower edge generously. So like this. Look, the base in every way. Okay. Something slightly off here. A bit too big. Dude, where is the option? Oh, there it is. Oh. It says select the base and every. Select the union logo first. Then lives. Then click subtract. So that's interesting. It's almost too polished now. I think the ellipse was too big though. it. Should be like some mouse space though. Yeah, like that is a lot better. Okay, so there's this logo. Make it pure black. We're a little bit higher than black. To change the color value. There's a way to do that. Thought you could just do that from there. Guess not. There. It's pretty good. However, I'm almost positive that is not what this guy did here. Looks very similar to the vector. The only problem is making the space thing. Oh, wow, that's insane. It's actually insane. So obviously it's not exactly like the image. Got pretty freaking close. Holy cow. That is really cool. I mean, too insane. So you can add more density. Increase density. Oh, okay, so I guess it goes closer to the center. It's more glow. Wow. Oh, okay. Darker. Has changed the motion of the. Oh, it changes how deep the pointer goes. Oh, you just changed the seeds. It's insane. Single lattice. That looks crazy good. From just one image he created, this is pretty good in my opinion. It's pretty good. Oh, that looks insane. You document. You did for other agents and my reference. Sure. Documents. Very detailed. And also add next steps. That's really good. I don't know what the context window really is, but I think it's smart enough to just apply it to the website as is now. See what happens. So the version I made following your tutorial is in the bottom left hand side of this image. The original one is in toward the right hand side, and the vector one is toward the top left. To me, the original looks like more like the vector one because of the blocky, like, pointer arrows. I just don't get how he made the rounder semicircle thing. How do you think he did that? I don't know why Superworks just changed their thing. Let's try 12 right there. Select the logo first. When was this made into a union? Shift click the circle. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Doesn't look absolutely perfect, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not trying to make this pixel perfect. I just want to get somewhere close to the original. Could create another frame here and just go see the component, just call logo. Can't see this. Go do. I feel like the rest of these we found in some UI kit. I completely forgot whatever UI kit he used for this one. Let's see what's in here. Probably should those are really slow, unfortunately, because it's $20 plan. We stream for 2 hours already. See if we can find some outlets. Something like that. It's like a stat bar. The one thing that's pretty hard is just finding thing. See which there is. It just had everything. This looks somewhat similar. It's not really the same thing. I wonder if I could just copy a screenshot, just paste into Google. No, these would look like great. One thing we also needed was the. This thing come with a nav bar. It did. Yeah, the Android UI could. How about should be one for iOS. The 7 iOS. And hit the darn mic. Okay, can you look at the stage changes and make relevant commits? Reach. Full change. Do not commit massive build folders like node modules, obviously. Free AI prompts. You can even ask it to create icons now. That's not what I'm looking for. What is this? I'm looking for just the nav bar. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. This right here. Let's call it copying rise. Here. Let's frame much bigger. Is that sure they had the they call that bottom bar? I don't know who has it. I don't care. There we go. So he's now committed. Oh, I think it's one out. I think I'm done for tonight though. Yeah, I know no modules is in like ignore. At least it should have put it in there. Told it to. Oh. Yeah, there it is. I'm not really building anything. I was just I was kind of vibe coding a background for my website. Kind of wanted to make a cool shader for it. I saw some people making GPT sold to it. So yeah, that's what I was doing. But yeah, thank you, Galaxy Nexus Phone 3 for tuning in stream. Fortunately, I think I am going to go off stream now because I've been streaming for over 2 hours at this point, and it's 12 a.m. where I'm at. Yeah, they were tuning in. I will be streaming tomorrow, hopefully for a long time, but if you care to tune in then, feel free to pull up. Yeah, I was just vibe coding basically. Yeah, thanks to anyone who's watched the VOD.